everyone, and welcome to Built in the Bluegrass. We're switching it up a bit again today, and I'm actually Tommy Lawson. I am the executive producer of Built in the Bluegrass, but today I am your host. We are honored to be this year's spotlight sponsor for CAM's Coolest Thing Made in Kentucky tournament presented by Kentucky Farm Bureau. And we are actually putting the spotlight today on a pretty cool product and sounds like a pretty cool company, Perfetti Van Melle. And their product that they entered into the tournament is Airheads. So we do have a special guest from Perfetti, and I will let him introduce himself.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tommy. So yes, I'm JR. I'm the senior brand manager on Airheads. And like you said, Airheads is owned by Perfetti Van Melle, but run here locally in the U.S. and the product's produced here in the U.S. So really excited to be here and competing. We like to think that Airheads is pretty cool.
Yeah, I always think of the commercials with the balloon always flying around. That's pretty awesome. And everybody wants to know what that mystery flavor is, right?
They do. Everyone asks me.
We might get into that. It might be a trade secret, but who knows? Well, thank you for joining us today, JR. And I just want to give you a minute. You already said what you did, but if you want to go a little bit more into detail about that, and then just go over the Airheads product, maybe where it started and where it is now, and just let the people know what they're voting for.
It's such a great question. There's so many cool companies on the list. I remember when I was looking for jobs and saw the Airhead posting, and it brought back so many memories, whether it's the commercials with the head inflating and flying around like you were mentioning, or it's just eating with my friends or family. It was such a cool part of my growing up, and to be a part of it and to see it being made here, produced on the line, sent out is such a cool thing. It's a part of culture. You'll see celebrities mention it, or you'll see just people at the theater like bringing it into a movie. It's such a cool thing to see and to be a part of. I love it, and that's why I think it's one of the coolest things made here in Northern Kentucky.
Yeah, I think it's almost a bit for probably you and I, nostalgia, I would say, because they were around so much when we were younger. And now if I see a commercial or see one, I'm like, oh man, haven't had one of those in a while. Like, give me one of those things.
Absolutely. We're trying to change that, trying to make you like, oh yeah, that's my favorite go-to candy.
Right.
But and it's cool. It gives you that license to whether it's you're talking to that the person who's at the pool right now, or you're talking to one of you and me who have those nostalgic days. It's fun to see candy come to life. And just the way that we've done that recently, we for Halloween, obviously you think candy for Halloween. Mm-hmm. And the last couple of years, we're like, okay, how can we show up? And so we tried to help dentist house. Growing up, like you hate going to the dentist house for Halloween. They give you a toothbrush. So we tried to help dentist house suck a little bit less by giving them candy flavored floss, Airhead flavored floss for them to have for Halloween.
What an idea.
It's fun to be able to do things like that as a candy brand. It gives you a lot of license to show up and make people smile.
Yeah, JR, I hear that. So let's get to the nitty gritty here. Why do you think your product Airheads is the coolest thing made in Kentucky? I know we already hit on it a couple of times, but go into a spiel.
Yeah. Great question. Again, we are honored to be with a bunch of other awesome companies and brands that are on here. Kentucky's a really cool place to make stuff in general. I love the category first. Candy is fun. Whether things are going well or things are going awful, like candy is a nice thing to just turn that frown upside down, if you will. It's that nice thing to really just bring that smile out for someone. It's an inherently fun category. And then I'd say the other thing that that makes me want to vote for it is just how we try to do that. It's not just hey, we're candy, but we're all about making people have fun. And so I mentioned the dentist activation. We tried to take a very overly serious conversation back in the chicken sandwich wars when you had big brands going after each other. We launched our own chicken sandwich. Admittedly, turns out not many people want to buy a candy coated chicken sandwich, but that wasn't the point. The point was
Right.
to make fun of an over serious conversation. And then as well, AI has been a big thing. So we jumped in there and we made a scare fest last Halloween to have people create their own AI generated movie that was just fun. And so I love that in a time where things really get serious, and when things get hard, it's our job as Airheads to help people smile. And so I love that. That's why I think it's one of the coolest things made here in Kentucky, and I'd love for people to vote for the brand.
Good deal. Thank you, JR, again for being on today. And that's Built in the Bluegrass, the spotlight sponsor for Cam's Coolest Thing Made in Kentucky.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.